Okay everyone, I am Gamer and welcome back to some more Long Dark Survival Mode playthrough. Yes, I am here in the building where we left off, but I have gone completely through the night, and I've also done a little bit of housekeeping. So let's have a quick look at a few bits and bobs we've done. Obviously we've put our rifle down. This is the rifle that we found over in the cave. So we've got two rifles in here now. And the revolver, so we've been pretty well. I've got some gut there that I harvested, and I have a deer hide which I harvested. I've put a bit of extra food, all that venison that we had is in the fridge, and I have grabbed a bit of extra water from the freezer. And that is pretty much it. Oh, I have left a piece of gut. Do you know what? I thought there should have been two of those. I left it in there, that's where I originally dropped it. So, yeah, we've done pretty well. What I'm going to do is let's just poke our nose outside, because there's something that I did want to do before we go to the church, which is about the only place left in Milton, in the mountain town, that we've not been to yet. There is something that I wanted to do, and that is to go back to the wolves that we brought down in the previous video when we were heading back. I want to go and look for those wolves and see if I can harvest any of it, because I was a little bit disappointed that they clipped through the terrain and that I couldn't harvest them. So I want to see if I can harvest them. I'm not going to grab the meat because I think that's just asking for trouble. We've been there once already. I don't really want to do that unless I have no choice. But I did sort of want to have a look and see if I can find them and harvest something off at least one of them. The hide is what I'm really after. I don't think I've got any wolf hides yet anywhere in this playthrough. I haven't got any at all. So let's go and see if we can get them. They clip through the terrain. It's a bit frustrating because I lost one of my bits of deer as well when that happened, if you remember in the last video. I lost a bit of deer, which I was a bit annoyed about. Oh, and also, something that I did want to say, I haven't been using the map. I was bringing that on-screen map up. Oh! Ah! It's popped out of the terrain. Awesome. Well, one of them has, anyway. That actually looks a bit weird. It's literally... Oh, they've come up out of the terrain. That's brilliant. Okay, I don't want the meat. I just want the hide, and I want the gut. It's going to be in the... Oh, no. Much quicker with the knife. Okay, we'll do it with the knife. Temperature's actually okay. It's not too bad, so... nice and clear as well, or certainly at the moment. Whether it's going to be in a few minutes is anybody's guess. I'm really glad that they have come back out of the terrain, because that would have been really annoying if they hadn't. This probably means that deer quarter has as well, but that's a bit too far for me to be bothered going back to get, so I'm not going to bother with that. Awesome, so we've now got ourselves a couple of wolf hides. It's really weird up there. Let's go back down to the... back down to Grandmother's house. Now, actually, two things I wanted to mention. One, I haven't been using the map, and the very good reason why I haven't been putting that map graphic up the last couple of videos, I don't actually have a good map of Milton that I can use as a graphic. I've managed to capture maps, or I managed to capture a map of Mystery Lake, but I haven't got one of Milton, so unfortunately I haven't been able to bring up the map graphic to show you where I am. There was a fatal flaw in my grand... on-screen graphic map strategy in that I don't actually have an on-screen graphic that I can use for it, so apologies for that. Hopefully when we get back to Mystery Lake it'll reappear again, and hopefully you'll be able to see where I am. The other thing I wanted to mention is that the December Survival Mode update has come out, and I have already forgotten what it was called. I've already forgotten, so I assume by the magic of editing it's probably on your screen right now what it's actually called, but it has come out, and there's some pretty interesting stuff in there. First of all, there's a new region, which sounds like it's going to be quite a difficult region to get to. It looks like you have to... It's a two-stage affair, apparently. I don't know in what way or how, but you have to get to it through the ravine... region, which again I've never been to, so I've never been to that one either, and Flor Muskeg. So there's actually now a few regions that I've not been to, we've not really explored, because they're a little bit far away from where we are right now, and also there are the really difficult regions, the really advanced regions, and I don't feel ready to do them yet. I'd rather build up my resources a little bit, get a little bit of distance in, and build up my clothing, build up my equipment, and then go and tackle those regions, because I know we're not going to last very long if we don't. So that is something that I think we're going to explore a bit further down the road, but right now we're doing okay. We're going for distance with this one. We are going for distance because I have been going on about this 100-day goal, which loads of other people have obviously managed to achieve, and I just keep missing it. So I really, really want to get to 100 days in one of the playthroughs. I'm having a little bit of a problem with where I can place these things. They keep saying I can't place them neatly. There we go. So we're actually pretty good over here. We've got 2 wolf hides, and we have a deer hide, and we have a load of guts. So that's actually all looking pretty good. We're still in the middle of the day, and it's all still pretty good outside. So I think what I'm going to do, let's drink a little bit of water. I might just grab a little bit of extra water. So I have drank a little bit of it. I might just grab another litre just to make sure I've got enough. And the only other place for us to go that we've not been to is the church. So I think that's where I'm going to go. It's fairly straightforward to get to, but it is a pretty dangerous route. There's a lot of wolves and things that you tend to find around here. Oh, speaking of wolves, timber wolves, the new region which has appeared. I think it's called, was it Bleak Inlet or something like that? Again, I should really have read all this a few times before I started playing. It's basically a coastal region. It's like it's got a ruined lighthouse in it and things like that. The timber wolves are active in that region. They're not active anywhere else in survival mode, but they are active in that region. And there's a few new things as well. There's now a milling machine that the Aurora activates, and there's the gunsmithing ability. So apparently now you can repair ruined rifles, ruined firearms. So if your rifle or your revolver become ruined, you can actually repair them with that, and you can repair them as well when they're still usable. So like a rifle cleaning kit, but presumably a bit more efficient. So that's something new, and you can now also craft your own ammunition. There's an ammunition workbench, but you need to have the right materials. You need to have gunpowder, which apparently is now in the game. You need to have bits and pieces that you're going to find. I assume this is all in the new region. It may well be that there is some of this stuff lying about in existing regions, but I have a feeling we're going to find the bulk of it in the new region. Gunpowder in particular, I suspect is something which you're going to find in that new region, and possibly in the mines. It's the kind of place they would have used it, but I suspect we're going to find it mostly in that new region. So that is again something for the future. See if we can find our way into it and see if we can go and see what's there. I don't want to leave it too far into the future, but I do want to try and build myself up a little bit before I go tackling that. Okay, so we're at the church, or we're almost at the church. I haven't been into any of the vehicles, simply because I can't be bothered. You find tidbits in vehicles, but you don't find anything particularly dramatic. Now, I'd be interested to know what's up there, because that's the way you came down in the previous version of Winterview, but you now don't, so I'll be interested to see what's up that way. Okay, so... Ooh, we're stuck. Hang on. We'll get there. There we go. Right, okay, so, graveyard. I don't think we came back here in Wintermute Redo. Did we? Or did we? I can't remember. Nothing around outside. I didn't think there would be, but it's always worth having a quick look. I'm slightly concerned I've not had any wolves yet. That does make me a bit nervous, because you do normally get a couple wandering about over here. So I do want to kind of have a look around and see what we can find. Cloth. Not bothering with that. I'm also not going to be taking any books from over here. I've got plenty of them. Probably lots of heavy firewood. You always find ooh, wool scarf. I don't know whether it's going to be any different. Yep, little camp in here. That's still there. Oops, storm lantern. Already got one, but I'm going to have it as a spare. I've got some painkillers. I can use this as a bed. That is food, which it won't let me pick up. There we go. Oh, I tell you what, something else you could apparently now do. You can break down campfires. I don't think it gains you anything. I'm going to do it just to see. Did that put anything into my inventory? I don't think it did, but it's nice to tidy up after yourself. I think that's the idea. Ooh, hatchet. I think that's the idea. That's why I think they've done it, is so that people can actually tidy up after themselves as well. Excuse me. It's actually quite cold here where I'm sitting because the window's open. The window's open because, well, this is where we put the washing to dry it. I don't want it getting damp, so the window is open, but there's a cold draft blowing in. It's very much the long cold in here at the moment. Right, So not very much inside the church, but we got another hatchet and we got another storm lantern, which is good. Yeah, I have a feeling that breaking down the fire mechanic is purely just to allow you to tidy up. I don't think it actually gains you anything. It might give you a stick or something, but I don't think it really gains you anything. Okay, so we're back outside. I'm just sort of curious to know what's over here. In fact, can we map make? No, because I haven't got any charcoal. That's embarrassing. Why didn't I bring any charcoal with me? Furthest reaches of the map, and I forgot to bring charcoal. Okay, let's go over here to this other little graveyard on the other side. In fact, I think, yes, we did come here in Wintermute. We do, didn't we? We had to come over to this side instead of where we were before. I'm still nervous that there's no wolves appeared anyway. Oh yeah, there we go. There is the carrot to the Grey Mother's daughter, as we know. Okay, I think I'm just going to pop over this hill. I am just curious just to see what's on the other, what's heading out this way. Because obviously in the previous version of Wintermute, the original version of Wintermute, this is the way that you came in. This is how you came into the game, but now you don't come in this way, you come in a different way. I'm just curious as to what I'm going to find. Ooh, okay. I suspect I'm just going to come to a dead end, and this is going to prove to be a little bit fruitless. There's sort of almost a pathway that goes that way as well. Let's just see how far we can go. We might as well. Travelling weather's good. I think we're actually above freezing. I'm probably going to walk headlong into a wolf or a bear. That's just how things roll, but... Ooh, is that a cave over there? That might be a cave, and it kind of loops back round on itself. Yeah, we've got a little bit of a cave in here, so I assume that's the boundary. I can't go any further than that. Although I can hear the roaring water from somewhere. Let's come up this way. That is a cave. I might go and explore that in a second. Yes, we'll go and have a look at that cave in a sec. Let's see what we find over here. I'm suspecting a waterfall, judging by the sounds of it. It's actually quite a long way to go here. If you're going quite a distance. I kind of expected that to just go round the corner. I didn't think it was going to go very much further, but it's actually going quite a long way. Okay, looks like we've got a whole massive section here that we've completely not explored before. In fact, is that a building there? It is, and looks like there's some stuff scattered on the floor. Okay, well let's head up here then, have a quick look. There is a building here. That there's a whole little... It's like a wooden pathway, isn't it? There's some buildings over there, and I've got a building here. They're non-occupiable. Wooden board pathway. Okay. I don't think this was here before. I think this is post-Wintermute redo, and I've not been in here since the end of Wintermute. So, there's a workbench in here. Some plain wood. Another book. Got a scarf. Some sardines, always valuable. Not very much. No bed. More matches.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
I'm not bothering to grab books because they're quite heavy, but I'm grabbing pretty much everything else. Okay, well, we found a few little things there. I think if we sort of carry on following this, we're going to backtrack on ourselves. We just pop back out. This is probably a good time to come across all of this. I think if we go back that way, we're going to sort of be backtracking to where we just came from. So let's go this way. I kind of want to follow this road and just see where this road ends up. Kind of the way I came in. It looks like this has kind of been quite extensively expanded up this way where it previously didn't go. You've got quite an extensive little route up here now. I don't know where we're ultimately gonna, where the gateway is ultimately gonna be, but it actually looks like we can go that way. We've got a world famous gnarly tree over here. A rabbit. Let's just have a quick look down here before we go anywhere else. So we're doing a little bit of impromptu exploring here. I wasn't planning on doing any of this. I'm just curious as to where this ends up. I mean, this might actually end up doing a loop. That is entirely possible that this does a loop and we wind up back where we started. I can hear a lot of wolves. I think we're sort of heading into wolf territory here. This is going much further than I realised. It's like we've got a whole area here that we've just not explored. Guess I just assumed there was nothing here. I'm actually quite surprised to find that there is. Oh, okay. Oh, has that wolf clocked us? No, it hasn't. We're all good. She goes quite a long way, doesn't it? That keeps going. This isn't a transition area, is it? This doesn't transition somewhere. Oh, I've backed myself. Oh dear, I've backed myself up into a corner. Doesn't matter. Oh, what's happened there? Oh dear. Oh, there you are. Well, you got your hooves out. That's the important bit. Okay. That looks like I can sort of. Is that? It almost looks like I can go down there. It looks like there's a bit of a gap. I don't wanna. No, I don't think I can. It's just a graphical thing. Okay. Well, we'll go this way. Obviously, I haven't got anything to hunt these deer, and I'm not really interested in doing it, so I'm just going to carry on. Let me grab. I'll grab sticks. I'm not going to harvest any branches or things that I see because I'm just worried if I do that, I'm going to end up with wolves. I mean, my only thing is, of course, that we've come quite a long way, a lot further round than I anticipated. I kind of don't want to. Oops, I've gone overweight. That's fine. It's not an actual problem. I kind of don't want to go all the way high. Oh, if only I had a rifle at that moment, that would have been perfect. I kind of don't want to go too far back because I'm going to have to come all the way up this way again to finish exploring the area. I mean, it looks like we can pretty much just follow the road now and see where the road ends up. But I mean, it's taken us quite some distance away from Milton. This has. Obviously, there was a cave. I suspect if I sort of this is the cave. So if we head into the cave, see what's in the cave. Okay, absolutely nothing. There is nothing in here at all. What time was it? Oh, okay. Now, you see, I'm now in two minds because part of me wants to get back to the Grey Mother's house and sort of do a proper preparation for long distance exploring, but part of me just wants to sort of crack on and go back and try and explore, but obviously I know there's wolves about. Yeah, so if I kind of go back that way, that puts me back. So it's actually coming quite a long way away from Milton. It's quite some distance. I kind of want to come back with a whole load of. I mean, I assume I can sort of follow this ridge and it'll take me back towards the Grey Mother's house, but sort of avoid that open space. There's also lots of. I'm not ignoring these, by the way. I did spot a couple more. Might as well. They're not heavy, so I might as well harvest it. Oh yes, there was also talk of some more music in survival mode as well. So I don't know when we're going to start hearing that. I can hear a piece right now, but I think that's familiar music. I think. Might be wrong. I'm in the wood a lot. Obviously, I have to cross the river, so dropping down here isn't necessarily going to get me anywhere. I'm going to do it anyway. That goes down towards the farm, I think. There's the waterfall that we can hear. It's quite a big one. Okay, so we've got a whole section of this map that I just didn't know existed. So we've got a little bit of exploring to do now. So that's good. It gives us something to do. Because I was starting to struggle, in all honesty, to know what to do next. Been to the church. Oh, okay. Now I've got a situation. I was tempted to brave Sir Robin it. There we go. That's just a pole, isn't it? Yeah. Ooh. Wolf howls. Hi. Hi. Bye. Okay. So. Interesting. Right, I think what I'm going to do then, let me do a little bit of prep. Firstly, I need to find out where I put all of my charcoal, because I need it. quite desperately. I can't remember what I did with it. I know I had some. I just don't know where I put it. I must have put it somewhere. Do I have a random... I don't know if I have a random drawer or cupboard somewhere I was putting stuff in. Was I putting stuff in one of these cupboards out here? So I know I had a load of charcoal. No, I've been putting clothes and cloth in that one. I know I had a load of charcoal. I know I did, somewhere. Maybe maybe it's in Mystery Lake. Maybe that's where I left it. Is there any charcoal in this fire? Yes. I've got 3 bits of charcoal from there. Can I get any out of this stove?
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Yep, got a couple more. Right, okay, so let's go through the pack then and see what we can drop. Because obviously we are now overweight. I'm carrying a fair bit of fuel, but I sort of need it. I'll drop all of the reclaimed wood. I'll just leave it there, it doesn't really matter. So that'll hopefully get us below. But obviously I'm going to have to make sure I take things with me. I've got 2 hatchets, I know that. So I need to drop one of my hatchets. I also have 2 storm lanterns. So drop one of those. Okay, that puts me in a slightly better position. I'm now way under the weight limit for normal situation. Obviously I'm a little bit down at the moment on energy, so I'll pop my hatchet down somewhere. There we go. Right, okay, so I think we are pretty much set for a bit of an expedition. I've got charcoal now, so I can map make. I've got food. Yep, I've got plenty of water. I've got my hatchet so I can get more firewood, plus I have a fair bit anyway. Okay, so we are set. We are ready to go. Let's drop some of these matches. We don't need to be carrying all of those. So it's a small weight, but anyway. I basically just want to see how far that goes. However, I think it's probably... Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's going... It's starting to go dark. We know we're going to have to camp. I'm almost tempted to make a break back up, but then I know there's walls outside. So I'm sort of just trying to think at the moment. Let me just actually bring up the map. Yeah, it's all up here, isn't it? We kind of need to... That's Paradise Meadows Farm. That's the radio tower. It's really, I don't really have any... it doesn't look like I've done any mapping from here. So let's do a map from just outside the Grey Mother's house and just try and patch it together. You have to hold it. There we go. Ooh. Okay, so that's Milton House, which is the Grey Mother's house. We'll do one at the church, then we'll sort of... It's kind of going up this way and just being off to the back, isn't it? So... kind of interesting. It's starting to go dark now, though, so I think what we're probably going to do is we will hang around here. We won't try it now. But I think that probably neatly leads me on to the end of this particular video. It's going to be a tiny bit shorter, simply because we've sort of run out of things we can do in the time we have left. But we have had a very interesting video. We've gone all the way up to the church, which is kind of the last major area here in Milton that we haven't really been to. And we've discovered that the Extree Road actually goes quite a long way. I don't know if we're going to find anything down there or whether it's just a waste of time, but it's worth going and having a look because then we can say we've done it. So that gives us something to do, and it's going to give me something that I can pick up in the next video. But right now, thank you so much for joining me. As always, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Please remember to check out the other videos I have on the channel as well. And until the next time, take care of yourselves, and I shall see you again very, very soon.